Dear student, now I give lecture on non-destructive testing of materials and electrical apparatus. This topic comes under model 5. Comes under this topic, we studied about the introduction to non-destructive testing of materials and electrical apparatus. Then measurement of direct current resistivity. Under measurement of direct current resistivity, we studied about the specimens and electrodes. Actually, this topic is beyond the content of your VTU syllabus. Without knowing this topic, you can't understand the remaining topics comes under non-destructive testing of material and electrical apparatus. Okay, now we studied about the introduction to non-destructive testing of materials and electrical apparatus. Students, now the electrical insulating materials are used in various forms to provide for insulation for the electrical apparatus, that is high voltage apparatuses. The insulating materials may be used as solid or liquid or gas or a combination of solid, liquid or gas, such as the example is paper impregnated with oil. The electrical insulating materials having good insulating properties, that means is a wide range of temperature, that is 0 degree centigrade to 110 degree centigrade, and then frequency range, that is also wide range, that is DC to several megahertz in the radio and high frequency ranges. The quality of the insulating materials is to be tested is very difficult. The insulating materials does not destroyed during high voltage testing. These high voltage testings mainly done to access the electrical properties, that means the electrical properties like DC resistivity, dielectric constant and loss factor over a wide range of frequency range. For example, in a high voltage apparatus, the quality of insulation is assessed by measuring the loss factor at high voltage levels. Similarly, in high voltage apparatus, the quality of insulation is assessed by conducting partial discharge tests to detect any deterioration or the faults occurs in the internal insulation of the high voltage electrical apparatus. These high voltage tests is conducted at a desired temperature or over a temperature range which is specified as per the standard by keeping the test specimen in the controlled temperature ovens. Then the knowledge of the variation of the electrical apparatus over the operating range is obtained from the high voltage test. These high voltage tests, which is very helpful to design engineer to take the account, that is variation in the design of electrical insulation for electrical equipment. Students, now we studied about the measurement of direct current resistivity. The measurement of direct current resistivity again subdivided into specimen and electrodes, electrode materials, measuring cells, measuring circuits, loss of charge method. This video we only studied about the specimens and electrodes. Specimens and electrodes. The resistivity is calculated with the help of specimen shape and the electrode arrangement. For a particular solid specimen, the spherical shape is flat plate with plane and parallel surfaces. Usually the solid specimen is circular. The shape is circular. The specimens are in the form of discs only. The diameter of the specimen is 5 to 10 centimeter dia, and then the thickness of the specimen is 3 to 12 mm. The electrode arrangements is to be contact with the surfaces of the specimen. The measured resistance usually is greater than the other electrodes due to the surface conductivity effects. Now you see the circuit diagram. This circuit diagram represents the 3 electrode system. Now you see the circuit diagram. This circuit consists of 3 electrodes: unguarded electrode, guarded electrode, then guarded electrode only. What is mean by unguarded electrode? The electrode which completely covers the surface of the specimen is called the unguarded electrode and is connected to the high voltage terminal. Now you see the circuit diagram. And then the third electrode, that is guarded electrode, which is surround the measuring electrode, which is connected to the terminal of the measuring circuit only. The width of the guarded electrode is twice the thickness of the specimen. The grounded electrode must extend to the outer edge of the guard electrode. The gap between the guarded and guard electrodes should be as small as possible. The effective diameter of the guarded electrode is greater than the actual dia. Okay, so now here the diameter is R1 small r1 small r small r2. So R1 R2 are that represents what? R1 is nothing but the guarded electrode including the gap, that is the radii of the guarded electrode including the gap. The R2 is nothing but the radii of the guard electrode including the gap. The small r is nothing but the effective radius of the guarded electrode. The small g represents the gap width. The small t represents the thickness of the specimen. Now, how to calculate the effective radius of the guarded electrode small r, that is equal to r1 plus g divided by 2 minus delta only. Okay, so where the delta is nothing but the loss factor or dissipation factor, another name is, where delta by t is equal to 2 divided by pi natural logarithmic cosine h pi g divided by 40. By using this formula, you can calculate the effective radius of the guarded electrode. So dear students, in this lecture video, just you know about the introduction to non-destructive testing of materials and electric apparatuses, and then you know about the electrical insulating materials. What are the materials is used for electrical apparatus, and then what is the dia thickness, and then what is mean by specimens and electrodes. Okay, so in this lecture video you clearly understand these topics only. Thank you students for watching this video.